But I'm going to turn the floor over now to Governor John Anthony Winston. Governor, good to have you in Houston today. Please come in.
Welcome to the celebration on the occasion of the 150th anniversary of the organization of Winston County. I'm told that is called a sesquicentennial. In recognition of this auspicious event, here today are assembled several county dignitaries from the present, from the past, and maybe even from the future, we hope so. I've been honored to be asked to speak at today's ceremony, and with your kind permission, please allow me to introduce myself. My name is John Anthony Winston. I'm the man for whom the great county of Winston is named. I was born on the 4th day of September in 1812, a little ways north of here in Madison County up near Huntsville. I went to school at LaGrange College. That's what y'all call the University of North Alabama these days. I later continued my education at Cumberland College up near Nashville. I bought my first cotton plantation in Sumter County in 1834 and established a cotton commission business in Mobile that was fairly successful. I was involved in Alabama state politics early on and served in the State House of Representatives in 1840, and I served in the Senate in 1843. In 1853, I was elected governor of the state of Alabama, led the state in that capacity until 1857. I was the first governor of the state of Alabama born inside the state. And while governor, one of my accomplishments was signing a bill in 1854 which created Alabama's public school system. During the Civil War, I was a colonel in command of the 8th Alabama Infantry in service of the Confederate States of America. My men and I got into a tough battle one time in Virginia, what they called Seven Pines. We advanced so close to the enemy and so far ahead of the rest of the Confederate Army, the Yankees called out for me to surrender my regiment. We could hear them. Well, I yelled back, I didn't join the Army to surrender. And we shot our way out of that little tight fix and made our way back to the rest of the Army. And after the War of Northern Aggression, I was elected to the U.S. Senate from Alabama in 1867, but the government in Washington, they would not let me serve. It was all because of a little misunderstanding. I refused to take the oath of allegiance to the United States government. And after that, I went home and spent the rest of my years tending my plantations and my cotton business until 1871. But enough about me. This occasion is not about me. It's about the grand and historic state of Winston, county of Winston, to which I lent my name. Some of the dignitaries that you had mentioned. Some are here today. If they're not here today, then I'm sure they are certainly here in spirit. Will Ferris has the distinction of serving as the very first sheriff of Hancock County. Sir?
Thank you, Governor.
In 1850. Do you have some remarks that you want to make?
I will, if you like, Governor.
Sir.
Thank you, Governor. I appreciate you asking me that. On behalf of my family, and it is true that my great-great-grandfather was Willis Ferris and was the first sheriff appointed by Governor Winston in the formation of Winston County that came from Hancock County many, obviously, years ago. I thought about that this morning as I came over here. I thought, a cold, wintry day like today, how those folks must have dealt with the problem. We get in a vehicle and ride, and we're really warm, and they rode wagons, I'm sure, to event, or horses to event events like this occasion today. And, I'm so thankful on behalf of my family for what this society's done to restore that building. It has a special meaning to me, and the work that they've done there, and I hope it is there for many generations to come for kids to take advantage of and learn so much more about our heritage. My great-great-grandfather Willis, whom I represent today, served in the House of Representatives himself and was later appointed by the governor to be a two-term sheriff of Winston County, serving one term about 1850, and then at that point he didn't run the next time, and I think he ran the next time and was elected and serving for sometime in the early 60s. He didn't have the opportunity to actually work in this particular building. I think he served in a building prior to this building. But it has so special meaning for me, and I'm so thankful for the work of the Houston Historical Society and what they've done to restore that building. Thank you, guys.
The history of Winston County would not be complete without mentioning Richard Payne. We have someone representing Mr. Payne today. Sir, would you like to speak?
Yes. July 4th, 1861, we had a meeting in Williams County when we were discussing secession. So it was brought up that Winston County seceded, and I made a joking remark. Winston County seceded over the Free State of Winston, so therefore, I coined the phrase, the Free State of Winston, in July 4th, 1861. I'm a lover of history. What really got me interested in playing Dick Payne and studying Dick Payne was went up to the library, Hayward Library there, and there's no books on Winston County. Very few books. So I started studying the history of Dick Payne. He's buried at Pine Fort Cemetery, and he was in Company D, 27th Alabama Infantry in the Confederate Army. He was a banker. If we did this today, it would be counterfeiting, but he printed his money on brown paper, and he distributed. He just established the first banking system in Winston County. It's an honor to be here today, and I have a lot to say for Mr. Harris. He's a super person. Thank you.
Tom Pink Curtis belonged to a family whose members turned out to be some of the strongest supporters of the Union during the dark times of the Civil War here in Winston County. Do we have a representative from Mr. Curtis? Mr. Curtis was elected probate judge during the war, and in 1864 he gave his life in defense of the county and the Union when he was attacked and robbed by members of the Confederate Home Guard. Curtis was one of dozens of Winston County officials and civilians who suffered at the hands of renegade members of the Confederate as well as the Union Army. Succeeding Mr. Curtis in office was a gentleman by the name of Peyton Vaughn. He was a tax assessor and tax collector, and as well as a former probate judge. And here on the grounds of the jail, his blood has anointed the grounds because he was killed in office in 1869. Thomas Martin was born in 1824 in Hall County, Georgia. Mr. Martin, would you like to speak to that? Okay. He moved here to Winston County while with the Barton and Hyde clan and settled here in 1859. He was a spy for the pro-Union men who burned the Jasper jail. He was also a preacher. He preached at Sardis Church near Lynn for many years before preaching at Pleasant Hill No. 1, now called Enoch. He was elected the first moderator of the Clear Creek Baptist Association and traveled throughout this part of Alabama preaching. He had a total of over 40 years as a preacher, and he died in 1901. Another dignitary of the great county of Winston is Aunt Jenny. Aunt Jenny, would you like to speak to us today?